Hello, my name is Michael Paye. I'm a representative for geobikes.com. Today we are doing an assembly video of the 2013 GIO Zetta. I'm going to show you step by step how to take it from the box to safe to ride on the road. The tools required to do the assembly of the 2013 GIO Zetta are your X-Acto knife, your 10mm wrench, your 12mm wrench, your 14mm wrench, your 15mm wrench, your vice grips, your wire cutters, your 14mm ratchet, and your Phillips screwdriver. First thing you need to do is take your wire cutters. Give your straps a good pinch. These ones in the GIO products are plastic, so you don't have to worry about cutting your hand. If they're metal, be very careful. So the next step is to take your X-Acto knife. Don't put the blade out too far because they are perforated, and if you push too hard it'll snap. So you just need a little bit of that blade. Got 4 tabs of the box. Hold one end down, take your X-Acto knife, run it along, remove the cardboard, do the same with the other side, bend it in half, take your X-Acto knife, remove that piece, the 2 end ones do the same. Alrighty, so once you got those 4 top flaps removed, use your X-Acto knife again. Get as close as you can to the side. You don't want to cut in too far because you may scratch your scooter. So right from the end, bring it down as far as you can to the ground. Do the same on the other side. And then from here, this front side of the box, now come down exposing your scooter. Be careful, your scooter sometimes is a little wobbly and you don't want it to fall over. And then I take my wire cutters, find a good spot on these 2 zip ties that are mounting the front wheel to the frame. Remove your zip ties, remove your front wheel. Once that's done, go to the back, grab your scooter by the back rack, lift it up and over. Once you get it out of that box, use your left foot, prop it up on the kickstand. From here, if you put pressure on the back, the front comes up, slide it over. Alrighty, so once your scooter has been removed from the cardboard box, the next step would be to remove the cardboard that is on your seat that was protecting the front wheel. Now you got to go all the way down to your rear wheel fender where they taped it. Grab that piece of tape, hold down the bubble wrap, follow the tape all the way back down to the other side and remove. Now after that, start off with the bubble wrap, rip it down the back side, rip it right down the middle, over to the handlebars. Break the tape that's holding your trunk box. Get rid of that. And there you go. So next step would be to take your wire cutters, cut the zip ties on the brake levers. That was the front wheel spacer is usually on there as well with a zip tie on the handbrake, so make sure that you don't lose that. And then last I untwist this metal wire to get the keys off. Okay, so once you have removed all the plastic wrap, all the zip ties and everything, now you remove all your parts. So the parts included, the loose parts starting from left to right. On your left you got your blue raincoat, then your general maintenance manual, then your U-lock, your front wheel, your 2 mirrors, your floor mat, your 48-volt charger, your 2 pedals with your 2 pedal arms, your 2 pedal mounting bolts, and your 2 pedal arm caps. Then you have your trunk box, then you have your front wheel axle spacer, your front wheel axle nut, 2 ignition keys, 2 trunk box keys, 2 hub motor keys, 2 trunk box rubber pads, 4 trunk box rubber bar pads, 4 trunk box mounting bolts, 4 trunk box mounting washers, and 4 trunk box mounting nuts. So this is the front wheel and front brake assembly steps. Grab your scooter, tilt it back. I rest my knee under there so that I have both my hands to work with. You'll take your wire cutters. Be careful to only cut the zip tie. So that was 1 and 2. And that, as you can see, lets your front brake down. Now removing the axle. It's got a plastic washer over here. It's just on there for shipping purposes. Pull out your axle. Remove the wooden base. And you grab your front wheel. Put your front wheel between the front forks. Take your front brake. Slide it on. Make sure that this U groove fits onto this knob, or that the knob fits into the groove. Once you have it lined up, slowly lower your scooter onto it. And then you take your axle. So once you got the axle in a bit, don't need to push it all the way through. And you take your spacer, put your spacer in this side of the wheel, opposite side of the brake. Line it up. Push your axle all the way through. Grab your front wheel axle nut. Tighten that onto there. So once that axle is through and your nut is on the end, take your 12mm wrench and your 14mm, and then you don't want to tighten it on too much. You want your wheel to move, but you don't want it to come loose. Once that's on, lift the scooter back, give it a spin. It spins nicely. Since I'm down here, this is one thing I do as well. This is your front brake. You pull back with here, and you twist this. Front brake is nice and tight. So this is the trunk box installation steps. Now I got my trunk box here with all my hardware inside. For this you are going to need a Phillips screwdriver and a vice grips. First thing you do is take your 2 rubber pads, place them between the 2 holes on the bars. And you take your 4 rubber bar pads, place one there, one there, there, and there. These will keep your trunk box from vibrating and bouncing on your frame. Now what I do is I take the washer and I slide it onto the bolt, so it's already done. Have them in the back of your trunk box so that you have easy access. Now I look through the top right hole and line it up with the top right hole on the frame. Hold it down with my hand, take one of the bolts with the washer, push it through, take one of the nuts, tighten it under by hand, go to the next one. Alright, so once all four of those are on, take your vice grips, use your vice grips and grab one of the nuts on the bottom. And you take your Phillips screwdriver, hold your vice grips in place, and tighten it down. Gently remove your vice grips. You don't want it to spring back and hit your back tail light. Once all four bolts and nuts are tight, the trunk box has been installed. So this is the rear view mirror installation steps. Tools required is a 14mm wrench. First step is to remove your mirrors from the box. Insert it into the threaded hole in your brake lever. Twist it a couple times. Alright, so I got that nicely. It's adjusted properly, straight lined up with your hand grip. Use your 14mm wrench, again holding by the bar. Give it a good solid turn. Then you slide your rubber seal back down. This will prevent water from getting into your handlebar assembly. Holding the shaft, 14mm wrench, a nice turn. Slide your rubber seal down, and your mirrors are good. So this is the pedal assembly and installation steps. Tools required for this are a 15mm wrench and a 14mm socket. First thing you do is take one of your pedals. You look on the end. This is left side, so you need the one with the L on the tip. And if you look on your handle, your pedal arm, this one has an R, this one is the L. And you hold your pedal, you put the small hole on that end, twist it by hand, then you use your 15mm wrench, give it that good tight seal. Now then you take one of your mounting bolts, take the pedal, slide it on the pedal crank, take one of your mounting bolts, slide it in and tighten it with your finger. So slide that on and tighten that with your finger. And then your 14mm socket. The reason using a socket and not a wrench is because you have to sink it in. Make sure that your bolt is in there tight. You don't want to lose a pedal while scooting. Then you take one of your pedal arm caps, push that on, covering up the bolt. Then you do the same thing to the other side. Alright, so this is how you connect your battery. Use your ignition key, put it into your seat lock. Your seat now opens. Now from here, you turn your breaker off, so there's no power to the battery. Then take your battery connection wire slide it in good. Give this little tightening bolt here a couple turns to tighten it so it doesn't come loose. Then you turn your breaker back on and your scooter will make a beep to let you know that you have power. There's the beep. We now have power to our scooter. Alrighty, well those were the installation and assembly steps for assembling your 2013 GIO Zetta safely from the box to ready to ride. I thank you all on behalf of myself, Michael Paye, and on behalf of GIO Bikes for taking the time to view this video to ensure that your scooter is properly assembled and ready to ride safely. Thank you.